welcome to today's edition of the London Session Open. My name is Alejandro Zambrano, and I'm the Chief Market Analyst here at TradeCaptain.com. In the next 600 seconds, I'm going to provide you guys with a quick update on the markets. I'm going to look at things like the Euro, Bitcoin, Gold, Crude Oil, and the DAX 30. If you have any questions or anything about the markets I'm going to cover now, then you're most welcome just to pop your question here in the chat box. There's a little button there to sign in. And to sign in, you will need a free YouTube account. If you don't have any questions, it's always good as well just to, it's always nice to get a good morning or a hello. Okay, we'll begin. But before we start, I need to stress that trading financial markets, unfortunately, is risky. And there's a genuine risk that we'll lose all of our invested money. And there's more on this at the risk disclosure statement here in the very bottom of the page. So let me just load my charts. There we go. And there we go. Okay, so this is the Euro versus the USD. The technical downtrend remains intact. The price traded really close to 1750. Did that yesterday and almost ended the short-term downtrend. But the price, or the bears, managed to push back the bulls, and we're pretty much back at 1693 now, which is the range we've been seeing lately. Now, this is very straightforward. Either the market just trades to the downside, a bit like the pound has done. The pound moved lower after trading relatively close to a stop loss level yesterday. So either just go straight down and then eventually trace down to 115, which is down here, last week's low, and then maybe touches 114.45. If not, if it trades above here, it could potentially move up to the May 22nd high at 118.32. Then it pulls back a bit, and then most likely heads to the upside. If you want to get an idea of how complicated it could be or how messy it could be, just take a look at the Australian dollar and the New Zealand dollar. It took some time before those market bottoms out. In fact, let me show you. So here's the New Zealand dollar versus the USD. See, the market moved down, and then it went up, and then down, up, down, and then up. And the Aussie was quite complicated as well. It went down, up, down, and then it had like that push, and then it revisited to those. So it's not an easy endeavor to try to trade these corrective moves. Again, if we trade above this level, we could push to the upside. There's different ways of dealing with corrective moves. Either we get involved because we think we can trade them, or we take a step back and wait for something more constructive. So that's the outlook for the euro. Again, bearish below 117.50. And as long as trade below that level, there's no real reason for us to worry. Look at the daily chart. We almost touched this level already on the 31st, which is Thursday last week. Now it's Tuesday. The market has still not taken out that level. Let's move along, and we're going to look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is moving down a bit, which I think is fair. I think that's normal. You see, the market was trading lower and lower highs. Then the market moved to the upside, and I turned bullish as we took out these levels up here, because at that time we stopped creating lower and lower highs. However, though, just because we stopped creating lower and lower highs doesn't necessarily mean that we're in a bullish trend. But because of the bounce from this trend line, and because of nice moves in other coins, it's sort of I came to the conclusion that we probably did bottom out at this level. So I'm maintaining that bullish bias, and same bullish bias I had yesterday. So I'll remain bullish above 7,441. And then the idea here is that, or what we've seen today, is a corrective move, because what's happening is that traders are testing this sort of weekend bullish breakout. They want to test if this is legit, and if it is legit, this should just bottom out here. But in some coins, we've seen this correction gone much lower. And again, as long as it's above 7,041, I wouldn't be too worried about this. just need to remember that when we trade, we're gonna lose maybe 50% of the time. And the key point here, or what makes this interesting, is if the market indeed bottoms out here, then you're risking about 8%, and if it goes to the upside, you can make about 12, maybe even a little bit more, maybe up to 16%. So almost 2 times your money if this is a low. Now this is not necessarily sort of the best idea. There are other cryptos where the opportunities I think are better, but it's always about that risk reward ratio, and this setup maintains that element as well. In fact, even the euro dollar setup maintains that element throughout all these various setups I shared with you guys since I turned bullish here. It contained that risk element, that risk reward element. Just because I know that at the end the trend is gonna fail, like in the euro, and we're gonna be stopped out. And many times we have false starts in trends, and we need to take that into account. And here is the price of crude. A few days ago I said look to sell at 68.58. That worked out great. The market reached a low at 64.60, and the market now took out this support level, and that is another sell opportunity. However, though, we moved below before correcting, so I would not have sold here unless I was already short from here and I had a bit of profit to speculate with. Now going forward, I maintain that bearish bias, but again, because of that risk reward ratio, I prefer being bearish from a level like 66.11. 66.11 is the first Fibonacci corrective level from this high to this low. And again, it's all about that risk reward ratio. If this is a genuine downtrend, the market should roll over here, and we'll potentially make $3 by risking about $2.7. But the many times that what happens is that the market just reverses in my sell zone. I do put my stop losses further away because I don't want to get caught up in the noise. But for example, here I had a fib area. As an example, I took a fib like that, and this was the first level I wanted to sell, but the fib area was actually quite big. But you can see it touched the first fib, or the first sort of zone of my fib area, and then reversed. Sometimes that happens, and obviously in a situation like this I can put my stop loss at my entry, more or less, and sometimes it goes deeper into the sell zone. Euro dollar, as an example, is a good example where the market is deep into the sell zone. In fact, it's almost stopped out. Here's gold. Not too much activity here going on as well, but the idea was to sell here. Went down to our benefit, went up, went down, went up, but it's looking okay. Since then, we've been able to reduce our stop loss quite significantly, and if it swings back up to 1300, I still think traders are gonna sell. If you're getting bored, I think the idea is to book. One idea is to book profits down here, but because this was a breakout from the daily range, so this was support, this was resistance, I think we can go much lower. In fact, if we sort of stick to the general rules, then this is 15. What is this? This is yeah, $59. So $59 takes you down here, pretty much here. So that is the range, because if you do it like that, this is the box, and if I just copy the box like that, one box, one rectangle, you should get another rectangle. The fact that I spent a few months here makes it interesting. Very good example of that is the euro. The euro was stuck in a box up here, and it was stuck here for quite some time, like that, and eventually the market gave us 1 times the range. Yeah, it gives pretty much exactly 2 times the range. DAX, difficult one. Why is it a difficult one? Well, because if you look at it from a daily time frame, the market is not really trending. It did end its little bullish uptrend here, and it's trading sideways and a bit choppy. Support here, resistance here. Because of that, if you look at this, I'd rather buy here at 12,000. The alternative is we take out maybe this high and this has the upside, or the third option is to wait for end of this move here and then maybe look to get involved when it goes like that. But there are better markets like the S&P 500. I did talk about it yesterday. Check out the technical analysis section here. There's a lot of content here, so you just need to scroll a bit. But yesterday I did an update on the euro, did an update on Ripple, and I did an update on the S&P. Here's the S&P. The market's trading sideways and took out that high yesterday. That itself opens up for further pushes to the upside, and that is pushes up here. The trend is down here. Obviously it goes up a bit, goes down, but eventually maybe up to the March high, if not the 2018 high up here. So that's a better market to focus on than the DAX. That's what I think, at least. Check this out as well on the 20th. So 15 days from now, I'm going to hold a special webinar on top forex trading chart patterns. Of course, you can apply this to other markets as well. We're going to talk more about those rectangles and triangles and other patterns that people use to trade. So make sure you join that. It's free to sign in. If you sign in before to the premium section, then you have access to this already. Don't worry, it starts at 5 p.m., which is after the football game that starts. I think it starts already. Yeah, it starts already. Actually, I need to fix this then. Yes, so the football game actually ends at 6. So we'll push it to 6 p.m. So we're not, when the game is playing, is Uruguay versus Saudi Arabia. I do think the market's going to be a little bit quiet. I'm going to try to watch a few games as well. Okay guys, what are we going to do now? Well, we're going to wrap things up unless there's any questions or anything here. No, there's nothing here, so we're going to wrap things up. Don't forget to hit that like button, it's really important. Don't forget as well to share if you are, like this presentation. Very easy, just click here on like. And that gives me indications to if I'm doing things right or wrong. Another indication as well is just the number of people that join me in the morning and how many people that actually view the videos by the end of the day. That steers me in the right direction. For example, right now I know that you guys love the articles. There's a lot of hits on the article. In fact, the website itself in total is hit a new all-time high last month, and I want to thank you so much for help and for your support. And every time you just come and read something, it actually supports the website. So I want to thank you so much for that. And obviously, it's not telling me, well, Alex, maybe you should do more webinars or more articles and webinars. I'm very much like that. I'm gonna go with the flow. After all, I'm a trend follower. So if you like this presentation, hit the like button and share it so we can break this sort of interval. I think we have about 100 views per video. When I was at Daily FX, I used to have about 300 people live and then another 500 that would watch a recording. Obviously, this was a few years ago when everybody was super excited about Forex. People obviously more about cryptos now. But I still think we can reach maybe 300 people a day. So if you like it, help me to grow the viewership, because right now the articles are winning, and I might do more articles and less videos. Sort of depends on what's going on. So guide me if you like it. If you don't like it, then it's fine. Alright guys, have a great day and happy trading, and catch me here tomorrow at 9 a.m. London time. Thanks.